Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and well, I'm a bit late to the party, but I really wanted to finally review these HUK tubular lock impressioning tools, and you will almost certainly recognise them if you've been into lockpicking or locksport for a while. First of all, what is a tubular lock? Well, tubular locks have all sorts of different sizes and formats and profiles like this. You can see there's all sorts of locks here which are tubular lock profiles. They have a tubular key which enters the keyway, presses down the pins to a specific height related to the cuts on the key, and then the lock will open just like any other normal lock. These lockpick tools actually take an impression of the pins inside these locks and open them up, allowing you to see what the bitting is without the key. Very cool. They come in 3 different sizes of diameter, so you'll see that these are just like the keys. They're like little partial tubes. You have a 7.8mm diameter, 7.5mm diameter, and a 7mm diameter tool, and that is important, and I'll show you for why in a second. This set does include some reasonably well written instructions and a little diagram of the tool and its parts and all the names. I would recommend actually seeing videos like this one on how to use the tools. It's a lot easier to understand than just reading the instructions. To its credit, this set also comes with a whole bunch of other spare rings and the little feelers, these little fingers which are used to impression the pins, and some adjustment tools, these little hex keys as well, so that you can adjust the tool. There are some little grub screws here, and trying to find, there's another one there, which so you can use those to tighten those up if anything comes loose. So why are 3 sizes important? Well, take a look at this Spanish tubular lock. This 7mm diameter tool will actually fit into this lock very comfortably. If you look at the one size up, which is the 7.5, just have a look at this. It will not fit in at all. And you can see there's a little arrow to point to where you would index against the space where there is no pin inside the lock. So yeah, just won't go in, and there's no point in trying the 7.8 because that's going to be way too big. As you would expect, the 7mm diameter tool won't work in bigger locks because the little post on the inside of the lock is going to be much bigger than the inside of the tube in this pick, so you can't actually use this tool in that lock, but you can use the 7.5mm one on this particular lock. So again, I'll index that, fits in very smoothly. But there are an awful lot of locks which do require the 7.8mm in diameter tubular pick, like this one for example, so that fits in just fine. Here's another one, and another one. So clearly having a set of 3 tools allows you to open a lot of tubular locks, but not all of them. Take for example this little Cody tubular lock and how small that lock is. That 7.0mm tool will just can't even get close. Just look how small the keys are in comparison. Likewise, better made locks like this Chicago Ace and this American lock padlock, they have much tighter tolerances, which means that the tool itself is just too thick to fit into the space between the post and the body of the lock. This is exactly right diameter to go in, but it just won't go in. It would go over the tube. I can try the smaller one just to show you that it's just too tight. These do not work. There's only one tool that I know that can fit into these that's on the market, and that's many hundreds of pounds, which these tools here are not. And that is the main selling point of these. You can get these for under £10, under $10 US for that matter, if you search around on various Chinese emporiums. And HUK don't do bad quality tools. These are made of aluminium and steel, and they do work, and I will do a demonstration of them in a second. I just want to show you some features on here. So the point is, you put these into a lock, the pins will exert some pressure on these little fingers which slide back. Those are held in with a little bit of resistance through a set of rings both underneath, as you can see there, and above. So there's some silicone or rubber rings or washers underneath these feelers or fingers, and then there's some on top. The way in which you can decrease the resistance in these, because they are putting quite a lot of resistance on, is simply by removing one of these rubber rings. There are other better and more expensive tools where you can increase the amount of pressure on these fingers by turning a collar to tighten down the fingers, and that is better, I'm not going to lie, but this does actually work pretty well with these washers. And I suppose that if for any reason these break, snap, or otherwise degrade, replacing them shouldn't be very hard at all. There are hundreds of very cheap washers out there on the market. If you've impressioned a lock and it's opened, then you may find that these fingers now actually represent the positions as the key would normally do. But to reset these, you have a little ring here which is held on by a magnet, which I think is kind of cool, and that you can just use to push down all of the fingers at the same time to reset the tool and have it another go if it doesn't open straight away. But enough talking, let's do some demos. Let's start off our demonstrations by impressioning this 7mm in diameter tubular lock, the only one I think I have. And you've got to be careful just to index the tool with the pins to make sure that the fingers which are going to impression the lock are above those pins. And then you can just press down and start to... Oh, we've already got the open, look at that. That is so cool. So let's see if I can get that open up. There we go. Already open, impressioned. And that there, as I mentioned earlier, is now a facsimile of the key bitting. Here is the key. And if I hold it up to you like this and rotate them together, you'll see that the high cuts and the low cuts all align all the way across this lock. So yeah, you can see that this is extremely like high cuts there, or low cuts. I guess it's almost like a zero cut, and that is represented here by the fingers not moving very far up. And all that's happening is that as you twist this, one pin will bind. When the binding pin it pushes up on these feelers, eventually it'll reach the shear line. It won't bind anymore. The next pin in line will then bind, and it carries on and on and on until you finally have all of the fingers in their correct positions and the lock will open. And then you can actually use this like a key. So if I pop this into where it is at the moment, so I'll just do that, I can then lock it all back up, ready to go, and then I can use the key to open it again. Next, we'll move on to the 7.5mm in diameter tool. We'll reset the fins if they're not 100% in position. Make sure all the rings are aligned around the pinch point. Make sure that the fins go over the pins, or those fingers go over the pins. Just gently insert the tool, rock back and forth, and yeah, we've got the open. Look at that. And that's open. We can then use this in to open it and close it as we wish, because it's now, like I said, basically a copy of the key. Last but not least, let's try this 7.8mm in diameter tool. We will just reset all of those little feelers or fingers, index this into the lock, then turn this back and forth. You can use a gentle pumping motion if you want. Make sure the ring's out of the way. And it might feel like it's taking a while, but trust the process, because eventually, when all of those pins are impressioned, this will turn. There we go, like this. And once it's turned, you have sort of full control over it. You can see that that's the little latch there rising and falling to show that we have the open. Very cool. So there you go, clearly it works as intended. All three tools very useful if you come across different tubular locks with different diameter center posts. So yeah, they're very good. They won't pick every single tubular lock, as we discussed. Some are just not the right format, but they will get you through, I would say, a good 80% of the tubular locks which we see out there, bar the higher security ones and the ones which are a bit strange in format. So what do I like about this set? Well, first of all, the price. this does work pretty well, and it's about 10 quid for all 3 tools. That's quite nice. HUK do relatively good quality stuff, not all the time, but you tend to get what you pay for with HUK at least. I like the fact they give you some spares and some spare rings and some tools. I like that. They didn't have to. It makes, I think, a big difference in terms of how you feel as a customer when you get something like that. Another pro, which is also maybe a bit of a con, is the size of these. These are small enough that you could fit them into a pick case, maybe quite a big pick case, but they could slide into a pick roll or a large case or something like that. So that they are small enough for that. However, downside is they are really quite small. These handles, they don't give you a lot of grip. There's a lot of space left in the palm of my hand where I'm using these, so it's really hard to find that comfortable position. So it's a pro and a con. Pro is that they're nice and small and compact. I like that. The con is they're not extremely comfortable to use, and if you're impressioning quite a difficult lock, you might get sore fingers. I like the fact that they are color coordinated, so you can pick the right tool. You just need to remember which one is which, but they do tell you here in that little etching there what size they are. So yeah, they're modest, they're functional. I like the fact they've got this little magnetic ring. Could be a bit stronger to keep that out of the way so it doesn't keep flopping down over your little fingers in the tool. But no, overall I think for £10 or thereabouts, $10 thereabouts, how can you beat that value? They work, they're great. Things I'm not so keen on. I don't like the fact that the adjustment to the pressure on the fins is just these rings. They are clearly going to break or degrade or snap at some point. Yes, there are spares. Yes, they're cheap and they're not hard to get hold of, but a bit annoying and not as useful as just being able to close a collar to tighten the pressure on the fingers. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. Yes, it works, but it doesn't give you the level of adjustment that I want. Also, I like the tools where you can lock them down so hard that the pins or fins or probes won't move any further, which means that you could put this back in the box, take it away, measure it up somewhere else and cut a tubular key for a lock which otherwise didn't have its key, which would be very useful. I feel that this, as it stands, unless you were doing this on site and could cut a key right then and there, it does mean that any kind of slight nudging of these little probes or fingers or fins, whatever you want to call them, will completely change the bitting profile of the tool once you've impressioned the lock. So I don't think it's as good as the I think the Goso set that you can tighten this up. That being said, it's 3 times cheaper than that set, so you got to bear that in mind. So yeah, I don't really like this tightening system using these little bands, rings, washers. I don't like that. I mentioned that the handles are small. Like I said, it's more of a pro and a con. I don't hate anything else about that, but yeah, it's really this system here and the fact that you can't lock it down are really its 2 main detractions. If you're not bothered at all about, you know, impressioning tubular locks to cut keys for them, and you don't mind this rubber ring system for adding extra tightness to the fins, then I don't think you can get anything better for the price. If you were a professional, there are certainly some better alternatives, and if you wanted to do slightly more tubular lock impressioning and have a slightly better tool, definitely look out for the Goso set. I have done a review on that many years ago now, but I still use that set and I do prefer them, but they are 3 times more expensive than this set, as I may have mentioned earlier. So there you go. I'd love to know what you think to these picks. Do let me know in the comments below. Do you own them? Do you rate them? Do you have them? Do you like them? What do you think's better? What do you think's a good viable alternative? I'd really like to know. I think other people would too. I do actually read all the comments and reply to as many as I can. So yeah, drop some comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed and want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing because it really helps my channel out. And of course, happy picking, stay safe, and I'll see you all next time.